Good morning. We'd like to welcome you to our Gamma Nu Omega Chapter Community Day. You will hear various information associated with the programs that we have going on with Gamma Nu Omega. And this morning, we're going to have a host with us, Bridget Leslie, and she's going to help guide us through this program. We got a lot of things planned.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good morning. You're in for a treat today. With the pandemic, it has reduced our ability to come together face to face, but it hasn't stopped our ability to come together with the help of technology. And already we're experiencing some challenges with technology this morning. So we thank you for your patience. Well, today's no different. We can come together in the spirit of community. The second definition of community from dictionary.com says community is a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. And community tied to the word day is one that allows people with a common cause to take a break and to communally come together to discuss and learn more about issues and experiences that we all face. Today, the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated Gamma Nu Omega chapter brings to you its unique community day, where we will share with you our programs that drives our mission to provide service to all mankind. The lineup today, we will have dancercise and African attire contest, donation strategies, Souls for Souls, and the Lions Club International, story time with L. Kobe DeWiz, what's next after an HBCU graduation, This is Arts, Black Art, college scholarship requests, The Right Way, and entrepreneurship. We hope that you're ready, and we would love for you to stay engaged with us today. But if you must drop, you can join back again. Thank you, and without further ado, we'll move on to our first event today. Thank you, sir.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, the hot seat is yours.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Would you introduce yourself to our people and Facebook family, and then tell us a little bit about your program?
Okay, yes. My name is Shanae Riley, and I'm the chair of the Women's Healthcare and Wellness Committee. Our committee is responsible for raising community awareness of critical health issues impacting African American women. Our primary focuses are breast cancer awareness and prevention, heart health, care for the caregivers, and nutrition and wellness.
Great. So will you tell us a little bit about the first activity?
Yes, certainly. Our Community Day activity will focus on heart health. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in women, especially African American women. So we have been raising awareness of heart health and helping women to understand the risk factors. Our event is an African heritage inspired heart healthy dancercise that is sure to get your heart pumping, your blood flowing, and help you shed some of those COVID-19 pounds. So at this time, I would like to introduce our very special guest.
Thank you. Welcome. Okay. Come join us. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're so happy you're with us. So if you could tell us a little bit about your program.
Well, I teach at USC, drumming and dancing, West African drum and dancing, along with Cindy Flack and one of my mentors, Dr. Chris Lee, who has graciously joined us today.
And you are?
I am Rakia Khan. I apologize. I didn't even say my name, so my bad.
That's okay. We just want everyone to know who you are. And Dr.
Chris Lee.
Dr. Lee, welcome.
Hello.
So yes, today we'll be doing a little piece, one of the ones that we teach at USC in this FAMA. Last year we did Yonkity and got everybody's heart rate going. So this year, we're gonna take it up a notch, not too much, so don't get scared. Don't turn off your cameras, don't run away, just go get your water and come right on back.
Yes. Well, we're ready to get right to it.
All
We're
right.
gonna head that way. So Facebook family, while you're watching virtually, get up, get moving. As Shanae mentioned earlier, we can get rid of some of this COVID weight that we're carrying and just enjoy.
Yes. See
Let's
you
get
out there.
moving. Good morning. We're going to get moving. Rakia, we're ready. Look at these wonderful dancers that are ready to bring to you Dancerside.
So we're gonna begin with a little warm up so we can go ahead and get to it. I know a lot of you've been out there waiting since 10 to get started. So without further ado, save the talking for your breathing during the dance. And let's get warmed up.
Today we'll be doing farmers. We'll go ahead and get started with farmers, which is usually the second piece that we teach during the semester. It is not slow, but good news, it is short. So let's get started. The very first step, we're going to start with our right foot. All right, so it's going to be tap with your right foot, tap, 1, 2, 3. Left, 1, 2, 3. Right, left. Left, right. Left, right. The key is sitting into the step, so you're not going to be up here. Okay, so you need to bend your knees. Tap, 1, 2, 3. Tap, tap, tap. And you're going to look in the direction that you're going. So I shouldn't meet your eyes in the camera. Okay. Adding to that, we're going to add our shoulders and our hands. Okay. So remember, we're starting on the right foot. Hands, you're going to frame your tummy. So don't do a triangle or a diamond. You don't have to be too technical about it. Just frame your belly. And you're going to wipe on, wipe off. All right? That's your hands. You know what our feet will be doing? Shoulders, you're going to pop. Pop, 1, 2, 3. Pop, 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 pop. Now, if you're standing taller than I am, that's a problem. You need to be lower than I am. And if they're not lower than I am, somebody tell me so I can turn around because I can't see. So bend your knee, use your core, pop your shoulders, head goes in the direction that you're going. Yes? Yes? All right.
That again.
I sure can. So this first step, you'll hear the break. Didn't say because I know a lot of you joined last year. But if you are new, how we know to change to the next step is usually we hear the break. The break signifies when it is time for us to switch to the next step. So the break for this dance is every time we hear that break, that's when we switch to the next step. Yeah? Want to hear it one more time? Da, 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 da. You hear that? You switch to the next step. So the very first step that we just did, we hear da 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 tap. Pop, pop, pop. Yes? Yes. Yeah, auntie? All right. Pop, pop. Make sure you're looking in the direction that you're going, not looking forward. Yes? Let's try that much with the music. Now, let me just say, it is fast. So you're not going to do, So the regular tempo is da 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 Yeah? Let's do that much with the music. I don't say it. Here we go. I know y'all look good, so I'm gonna turn around and look at you. All right, let's add one more step to what we just did. All right, so the first step, pop, pop. Got that? Next step, da 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 da. I'm gonna take 4 steps forward on the balls of my feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm gonna take 4 steps back. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the whole step. Not really, but you get what I'm trying to say. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back up. 2, 3, 4. Go forward. go back. So a little more sassy than the church choir marching in, okay? So your left hand is going to be on your left hip. Your right hand, you're just going to point going forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes? So you're going to point right, point left, right, left. Okay? What about coming back? So backing up, you're going to extend your palm. So it's going to go palm up, down, up, down. Up, down, up, down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Back up, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back up, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? You're going to do that until you hear the break. So you're not just doing that one time. Right? So we just did this. Da, 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 da. Back 2, 3, 4, and point 2, 3, 4. Back up 2, 3, 4. Yeah? Yeah? All right. Let's try it with the music. Start on the second break. Here we go. Right. Right. Left. Right. Left. Yeah. All right. Okay, so we just finished 2 steps. 2 steps, right? 2 steps. We just did 2 so far. All right, so the first step, right, left, right, left, right. You hear the next break? What's the next step? Now, with that step, you're going to tap first. Tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step. So there's a difference between your tap and your step. Your tap holds no weight, yes? Your step, you're bearing weight on your feet, yes? Tap. And I stay on the tiptoes that tight. Tap. All right. Next step, which is going to be, all right, so you're going to start on your right foot again. Tap, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap right, tap left, and you're going to lift. Tap, lift, tap, lift, tap, lift, tap, lift. Okay? Of course, you know it's not that slow. Add in your arms. You're going to do Egyptian arms. Left palm is up. Right, left palm is up but down. Right palm is up. So you're right, then you're left. Right, left. Right, left. You want to make sure you're sitting into it. Now there's a hop. There's a hop. So you don't get the pose. So we're not going. That looks good, but that ain't what we're doing. Okay, so it's here. You should be able to see across your hand. If your palm is here, that's too high. So you should be able to look straight across your palm. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So first 3 steps, and that's a part A. There's a part B to that step. So the part A we just did, or starting from the beginning, da 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 da, tap, 2, 3, pop, 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 da 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 da. What's next? 1, 2, 3, 4, back up, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna look, 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 look forward, backing up. So look right, left, look forward. 2, 3, 4. What's your next step? The Egyptian step. You better do it. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Yeah? Ready to try this music? Or we need to walk through it again? Ready? Let's do it. Y'all ain't answering fast enough. Let's go ahead and do it from the beginning. Second break. Go. Point. Back up. Point. Egyptian step. Got it? Got it. Grab some water real quick. Move quick. Y'all can grab some water too, but come right back. All right? Thank you. Huh? We may do maybe 1 or 2 more steps. Now. And we only on 3. I won't kill y'all, so y'all can come back. Already? All right. Yeah, she doing it. It's killing it back there. Y'all can't see, but she is doing the thing. And looking real cute too. All right, so part B of step 3. Okay, so we just came from right, left, left. We're going to add to that. You're going to do double, double, single, single. Double, double, single, single. Left, left, right, left. Right, right, left, right. Left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right. Got that? So arm, an extension of what you just did. We just came from no, I'm sorry, we just came from here. Da 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 Yeah, that's easy, right? So we just added to what we just did. Remember, the first step is here. Da 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 digga da here. Da 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 digga da Yes? Yeah. Let's try that much with music. by yourself as well. Get the steps in. You got the first step. Here. Tap. Dot, 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 dig a dot. Point, 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 point. Palms backwards. Then point, 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 palms backwards. Remember when you're backing up, palms up, down, up, down. Yeah? So we just did point, 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 palms up, down, up, down. Point, 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 up, down, up, down. Next step, right, left, right, left, right, left, and try to get your palm as flat as you can. So make sure you're not holding up like a mirror. I know that's what we used to, but not today, not right now. Palm should be flat. Okay, so here, 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 here. Yes. Next step is the part B step where we do double, double, single, single, double, 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 da 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 da, dig a da. Next step, very simple. You can thank me later. All we're gonna do is turn in a circle. He's like, that's a trick. It's not a trick. We're gonna turn in a circle. Lift your right foot, your palms are up above your head. Start with your right foot. We're gonna turn to your left in a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. I told you it was a trick. Trust me. That's the next step. We just came from here. Da 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 dig a da. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, simple enough. So we came from here. This is the first step. Da 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 dig a da. Point, 2, 3, 4. Back, 2, 3, 4. Point. Da 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 dig a da. Egyptian step. Da 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 dig a da. Da 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 dig a da. Turn 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, yeah. Well, let's add one more step, and then we'll, yeah, one more and we'll be done. No problem. That'll be our time. All right. So the next step, it is simple as well. I didn't trick you the last time, so you can trust me this time too. All right. So we just turned in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chug to the front. So turn your arms in 2. So your right arm starts 1, 2, left, 2. 1, 2, left, 2. 1, 2, left, 2. And all we're going to be doing is getting low in your knees as far as you can or as comfortable as you can. And we're just chugging forward. That's it. That's the easy part. But no heavy feet. So let's not do no. So be light on your feet because you need your feet, right? So be kind to your feet, be kind to your knees. Yeah. So we're just going to basically, even though you're getting low, scooting across the floor. And it doesn't have to be large scoots. Okay. So we just came from 1, 2, 3, 4, right, left, right, left, right, left. Da 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 digga Yeah. There's more than that, but we won't do that this time. All right. So let's go from the top. Do we need to walk it through? Y'all ready? Okay, walk it through. All right. Here we go. I'll sing first. Da 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 digga da tap. Tap. Da 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 digga da. Right, left, back up, 2, 3, 4, point, 2, 3, 4, back up, 2, 3, 4, point. Da 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 digga da, and right, left, good, right, left, hold on, right, left, da, 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 digga, da, and double, single, single, double, double, da, 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 digga, da, turn 1, 2, 3, 4, and chug, 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 da, 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 digga, drop. We good? Yeah, y'all good. Don't hurry. Let's do it. From the top.
Stand in front of us, don't you, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna stand on the side. We go. Let's go. Look. Don't forget your head. Look. Look. Back up. Point. Back up. Point. Alright. Back up. If you stop, right, left, sit into it, take your knees, very good. It's another, double, double, single, single. You got it, you got it. Good job. All right, one more time. I won't do you how you do in class, but you're welcome. I checked it. But let's do it again from the top. Just those steps. Hope you wrote them down. You can drink water out. All right, from the top, let's go. Here we go. Out. Don't forget your head. Look, look. Point. Back up. Point. Back up. Look. Right, left, forward. Right, left, forward. Eviction. Lift those knees. Right, left, double. Third. Keep going. Very good. That will do us for today. That was a part of fun. So I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you probably wrote some things down, recorded, whatever you need to do. But I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it.
That was wonderful. I hope you got up and got moving and kind of shed some of those COVID pounds. We're now going to go into our next activity, which is story time with L. Kobe DeWiz. Well, we're going to take another little detour and we're going to go on to our Souls for Souls. So we're going to head on outside and watch folks come in giving our donations. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
We're so excited.
Yes, I love that African dance.
Yes, we got moving. We got moving. We got moving. Yes. So we would like for you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your program.
All right, I'll be happy to do that. My name is Marnette McKinney, and I'm with the Refugee Program. And I'm the co-chair. As we know, our refugees are fleeing the country due to natural disaster, due to war. And when they get to a new country, they have to learn new customs, they have to learn a new language. So we try to support them. We support them in our community. We work through the Lions Club International, we work through Lutheran Services Centers, and we work through the schools. So we help them locally and internationally. Some of you may remember that we crafted those cute little pink and green and all different colors of pillowcase dresses for girls and pillowcase shirts for boys. That was part of our project. Well, here today, we also are making donations and we're soliciting your help to make the donations. We'd like for you to bring some gently used shoes, girls, boys, men's. They can be flip-flops, they can be feet shoes, heel shoes, but in fairly good condition so that we can give them to the refugees, because we know a lot of times when they come to a new country, their only mode of transportation is walking. So they need a good pair of shoes to walk. Also, we're collecting eyeglasses. So if you could bring your old shades, your old eyeglasses down, we'll be here 1203 Ashley Street at Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority House until 2 o'clock today. And we have a special treat as well. And pretty soon you're going to hear a storytelling by a famous author. We have a limited number of books available. So if you bring a donation and you have a child in the car with you, you may get a free book. So hurry right down, go through your closet, go through your drawer, and we hope to see you in a few minutes. This is my team behind me, and we've been collecting shoes all morning. So we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Awesome, Marnette. Awesome. So head on out to 1203 Ashley Street, Columbia, South Carolina, and bring your donations, your gently used shoes and worn glasses, so that we can help our refugees and help our community. That's what we're about, service to all mankind.
See you soon.
And I have some donations.
Beautiful. Oh, this is perfect. Thank you. Oh, wow. Whoa.
Have a rubber band for this.
That's okay. We have rubber bands. If you don't have a plastic bag or rubber bands, we have them here.
Yeah,
So
so
just
come
bring
on
your
out.
shoes.
Come on out. Thank you so much, and thank you to your team. And now we will move back inside. So give me a minute to get there. And then hopefully our story time guests will be here. Be with you shortly.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Come on out.
after Kobe.
I hope you all are enjoying Community Day. We're so excited. We have so many fun-filled activities. And now we're going to bring out our story time with L. Kobe DeWiz. But first, we're going to get that program chairman to come on with us.
Good morning, everyone. Sarah Bridget. You see me? Good morning.
Good morning. I hear you. I don't see
You
you.
don't see me yet?
But if you could, if you will just introduce yourself and then introduce your program.
Oh, I will.
Okay, and I see
Good
you
morning.
now. I see your beautiful face. So if you will
Thank
introduce yourself and then introduce your program and then the program activity that we're going to have today.
Okay, good morning. I am Cynthia Hall, the Literacy Committee Chair, retired educator, and 39-year active member of the Gamma Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha. The Literacy Committee of the Gamma Nu Omega chapter was founded nearly 3 decades ago by a number of dedicated and innovative members. We partner with schools and other learning institutions to provide tutoring in reading and writing in order to increase or remediate comprehension, vocabulary, and writing skills of youth. Now, remediation can occur individually or in small groups. And those students are usually identified by even parents can require remediation or tutoring by the committee members or teachers. The Literacy Committee continues to its projects of supporting education and learning. Okay, now our presenter today, our storyteller, is a professional, dynamic, and world-renowned storyteller.
Awesome.
L. Kobe Wilkerson, also known as The Wiz. He is an award-winning author, poet, speaker, presenter, storyteller, and master teacher. He is a leading authority on helping schools and organizations cultivate relationships that support a healthy culture and climate. And he has many degrees. I won't go into those right now since we're short of time. But he is currently serves as chief consultant of the Love to Learn educational group and is the president of the Love to Learn books and CEO and president of the newly founded Learn to Love Foundation. And may I share a secret with you about Mr. Wilkerson? His wife is one of our sorors, and they are the proud parents of 2 charming daughters.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So
We're
if
excited.
he's on, yes, he has been on. I don't know whether he's on now. He's out in the West Coast.
Okay,
But,
I'm sure our technology people will pull him up for us.
okay,
And we're excited to hear from him.
okay. So without further ado, we present the Literacy Committee present The Wiz, who is going to read a story from his book entitled Fred and Mary. So without further ado, we're going to whiz on down the road with Mr. Kobe, The Wiz. Is he ready? There he is. You see? You there? Good morning, Wilkinson.
We know he's joining from the West Coast.
Oh,
Good
yes.
morning,
See
good
him.
morning. You can hear us, but we can't hear you just yet. Let's see what our technology people can help you with. We can see you, we just can't hear you.
How about now?
We can hear you, yes.
There we go. There we go. I was trying to get everything squared away. I was like, you know, we're saying it's asking you to join, it's asking to spotlight you. And I was like, I can't even see like where I'm at on video.
Oh, wow.
Like I can't even
Well,
see
that's
it.
technology, but we are so excited for you to be here today. And we're looking forward to hearing your story. So take it
Awesome.
away.
Well, good morning, everybody. My name is El Kobe the Wiz. I am an international author and speaker. I'm going to share with you all today a couple of the books that I've written. We're going to start with Getting Your Place, which is a story that I actually wrote about place value. And then we're going to end with Fred and Mary. So a little bit about me. I am a teacher by trade. I am an educator right now. I am a national educational consultant. So I go around the country working with schools, working around culture, climate, and quality instruction. And so we go into classrooms, we do model teaching, we do a little bit of music and storytelling. And I am going to go ahead and share my video with you all so you guys can see an introduction for those of you who may or may not know me. Okay, I need screen sharing capabilities. There we go. Appreciate that. And so I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about what that work may look like. Let's see here. Share sound, optimize. Okay, one moment. Let me do that. Let me go back out of here. And let's get into it. All right, go back to my Zoom. Now I should be able to share it. You guys should be able to see it. Optimize, click for share, sound, and all right, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
This is what it looks like.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It's that love and learn music. It's El Kobe the Wiz. We're looking for champions. Are you a champion? Champion. 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 I think like a champion. I speak like a champion. I act like a champion. I live like a champion.
He has brought an excitement, enthusiasm not only to our school, but to our district, working with our summer school programs. He just loves people. He has a passion for people and teaching people how to live right, do right, think right, be right. I mean, that's who I see Kobe being, and the inspiration he's been to our kids and to myself as a principal.
And Rondo said, and Billy saw Rondo, he said, because when you live like a champion, this is what you gotta do.
All right, so that is kind of what the work looks like. And so the first story I'm going to share with you all is Getting Your Place. So I wrote Getting Your Place when I was teaching kindergarten and first grade. And so I taught kindergarten and first grade. And when I was teaching kindergarten and first grade, I taught all my kids their multiplication tables to 12 and their place value to the trillions. right? Because it's not so much what you teach, but how you teach it. And so I wrote this song, right, which turned into a book about getting your place, to teach them the place value to the trillions. Because when you're reading numbers, what I figured out, right, is that when you're reading numbers, in order to read big numbers, all you have to do is learn to read 3 numbers at a time. And so if you could figure out what those commas were for, right, those 4 commas, then if you could count to 100 and then you can count to 999, then I could teach you place value to the trillions. So I wrote this story called Get in Your Place, and we turned the song, the story into a song, because I believe this: if you can put something to rhythm or rhyme, then you'll learn it in half the time. And so here we go. Let me share with you all Get in Your Place, and then we'll wrap up with Fred and Mary. Can you all see my screen?
Teachers, I gotta show you the super fun science lesson that we did. Super great.
Before we start, can you all see my screen? We're good?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. All right, here we go. This is Get in Your Place.
Yeah, it's that love to learn music. Here we go. You got problems reading them big numbers. 10, 12, 15 digits. It's not a problem. I got something for you here. You look at them numbers and just tell them get in your place. Get in your place. Get in your place and get out of my face. Say thousand, thousand, million, million, billion, billion, trillion, trillion. Get in your place. Get in your place. Get in your place. Get in your place. Thousand, thousand, million, million, billion, billion, trillion, trillion. Get in your place. Get in your place. Get in your place, get in your place. Hey, we see numbers all the time and every day. We look at all the commas trying to figure out what they say. Let me make it really simple, get this straight in your mind. Every group you see is between 0 and 999. You can read it super easy and I'll make it safe. Look at that number and say get in your place. Get in your place, get in your place. Get in your place, sing it out of my face. Say thousand, thousand, million, million, billion, billion, trillion, trillion. Get in your place, get in your place. Get in your place, get in your place. Thousand, thousand, million, million, billion, billion, trillion, trillion. Get in your place, get in your place. Get in your place, get in your place. Every single number has a house that they choose, and the commas separate them so you won't get confused into thousands, millions, billions, trillions. They all got their own, so you won't be catching feelings. Hey, each and every one has to have its own space. So when you see it standing, then you'll know what to say. Like 130,678. I look at that number and say, get in your place. Say thousand, thousand, million, million, billion, billion, trillion, trillion. Get in your place, get in your place. Get in your place, get in your place. Thousand, thousand, million, million, billion, billion, trillion, trillion. Get in your place, get in your place. Get in your place, get in your place. If you wanna read thousands, you need 4 to 6 digits, and you're gonna need a comma, so the people really feel it. 7 to 9 digits. Now we moved into the millions, and you need 2 commas. Now we're going to the billions. 10 to 12 digits. Now we're moving on up. You got 3 commas now, and you're really big stuff. 13 to 15 digits. Now that puts you in the trillions. You're gonna need 4 commas, and you can't have any missing. Say thousand, million, billion, trillion. in your place, get in your place, get in your place, get in your place. Thousand, million, billion, trillion. Get in your place, get in your place, get in your place, get in your place. I ain't scared to read big numbers, they don't cause me any fear. I just look at their houses and say what they need to hear. Like 130,633. That 9-digit number don't put no fear in me. I just say, get in your place, get in your place, get in your place and get out of my face. Get in your place, get in your place, get in your place, get in your place.
All right, so that is Get in Your Place. That is the book that I wrote and the music that I did to help students learn place value to the trillions. And so, you know, I believe, like I said, it's never what you teach, it's just always how you teach it. And so if you can break it down into ways that they could really understand it, then that's going to make the most beneficial for comprehension and understanding. And so the last story I'm going to share with you guys is the first children's books that I wrote. It's a story called Fred and Mary. And I actually wrote Fred and Mary when I was actually in college. Huh?
Okay.
Yes, I wrote Fred and Mary when I was actually in college. And so I had an assignment from my teacher. And I know those of you got kids, you know, your teacher give you an assignment and, you know, she had told us to write a children's story. And so I didn't know exactly what to do. So she came around and she gave me a little bit of help. And she said, why don't you start with Once Upon a Time? And I said, that's a great idea. And so I wrote Once Upon a Time and I was stuck, right? I was stuck because thinking is hard work. But when you do the work and you do the thinking, then some amazing things can happen. And so I wanted to share with you guys Fred and Mary. This is the first story, first children's books I actually wrote. And then I will take any questions that you all may have. So I hope you guys enjoy one of my favorite books of Fred and Mary.
Welcome to Fred and Mary. As you listen to this wonderful story, make sure that you don't turn the page until you hear the sound, which will let you know to move on to the next page.
This is a funny story about a couple, Mary and Fred. But the message is important, so listen carefully to what is said. Once upon a time, there was a guy named Fred, and Fred had hair on his head, and it was red. Now, Fred loved the hair on his head, and not simply because it was red. It was short, and it was curly, and it was of good health. But Fred, outside the hair on his head, he wasn't concerned about too much else. All Fred knew about was his hair. Other aspects of hygiene, I don't think he too much cared. His teeth were black, and his breath it smelled, and we won't even discuss his skin and his nails. But despite all of this, Fred was happy anyway. He went about his business, not caring what people had to say. They talked about his clothes and his beat-up shoes, but none of these things gave Fred the blues. Whatever they say, he just always replied, "Can't talk about my hair," and wink his eye. And then he continued on his merry way, still not caring what people had to say. Now, one day while walking, Fred met this girl named Mary. Now, she was quite cute, but a tad bit hairy. She had hairy arms and hairy legs, and boy, did she ever have hair on her head. And she walked up to Fred, and to Fred she said, "I really like the hair on your head." Now, Fred was so shocked that she had recognized that big fat tears almost came to his eyes. But being strong, he held them back. And as he reached up to his head to pat, he said,
Why, ma'am, you truly are so kind. You have such nice hair, yet you compliment mine. She said, "Oh, it's nothing. Your hair is truly nice. Trust me, I know lots about hair. I've had lots all my life." Now, I did tell you that Mary was cute, but I didn't tell you about how big her feet were and how she smelled like puke. But Fred didn't mind any of that. She liked his hair, and that was that. Now, Fred and Mary, they fell in love and they went off and got married. And I can tell you that that sight was truly kind of scary. But married life did them both some good. It got them to a place that it should. Because of marriage, their lives improved. Mary took baths and got some new shoes. Fred got some new clothes and some new kicks. And believe it or not, he got his teeth fixed. His skin and his nails were the picture of perfect health. And Fred and Mary were happy without anyone else. They lived on happily and they had a few kids. Because plenty of joy and love they had to give. It just goes to show, regardless of what you look like outside, it's really what you have inside that makes you survive. There are Freds and Marys all over the world. There are men, there are women, there are boys and girls. See, Fred and Mary understood this one thing more than anything else, and that is, before you go and love someone else, you must first love yourself. The end.
I love me. I look in the mirror and what do I see? I see someone who really likes me. I work real hard and keep my behavior royal. I treat others kind and to myself I'll be loyal. I'm smart and beautiful and have nice words to say. And there is no one like me, and I love this face. I'm so special because there's no one just like me. I look in the mirror and you know what I see? I see someone who really loves themselves. And if they could be anyone in the world, they'd be no one else. You give me a chance to be anyone I could be. And every single time, I choose me. I look in the mirror and I'm impressed. I see someone who always does their best. No matter what may happen or what may be, I will always remember how I feel about me. I love me, I love me, I love me.
So that is Fred and Mary, and you can get them, you can go to Amazon or you can go to lkobethewiz.com. And so those are the stories that I would like to share with you. I am more than happy to answer any questions that you all may have. You can follow me on all social media platforms. Everything is El Kobe the Wiz. So El Kobe the Wiz on Twitter, El Kobe the Wiz on Facebook, El Kobe the Wiz on TikTok. Everything is El Kobe the Wiz. So if you just Google me, you'll find me. I'm out here. We outside. So I appreciate you all having me, and I thank you for the opportunity to share with you all.
We love it, El Kobe the Wiz. Thousands, millions, hundreds, trillions. And you know what? I choose me. I do my best. And I love me. We thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today. We saw in the chat that some of our youngsters really enjoyed the stories. And like you said, it tied to song really makes a difference. It's very catchy. And we appreciate you. So yes, if there are any questions that our audience has, please drop those in the chat. Additionally, if you will like us on, or not like, love us on this platform and share the Community Day program with your friends and family. And El Kobe the Wiz, again, we thank you so much. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yeah, and if you all like those videos, you could just go to YouTube, type in El Kobe the Wiz, go to my channel, like and subscribe, right? And then all those videos are there for you. And so we have some other ones that are coming. We're going to be dropping a book every month for the rest of the year, along with the video. So, just stay tuned. We got some exciting things coming for you. But yeah, just go to my YouTube, El Kobe the Wiz, and all those things are there for you.
Great. Thank you so very much. So we do have a question.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, what is the question?
What did you find most challenging about writing your book?
What did you find most challenging about writing your books?
I write books for kids and teachers and for people, right, is to help them to be, better versions of yourself. So the challenge is trying to make sure that the story is going to resonate with people and that they're going to find some interest in it. And so part of that is just, thinking about what I would like to see in the story. I've read a lot of books. My mom was big on reading. And, I believe that readers are leaders. And so, you got to read if you want to get better. The beautiful thing about a book is it can take you away, but it can also give you information, right, that you didn't have. So you have the opportunity to gain from somebody else's, wisdom or creativity, and shorten your time span and thinking. So when you talk about self-development and being better, but the challenge is making sure that you can write something that's going to be, captivating, that's going to be meaningful, but also it's going to have a great and powerful message.
Oh, God.
Thank you so much. We have one more question.
They would like to know if you incorporate the videos.
How do you incorporate the videos in your stories?
So I try to make, the goal for me is to inspire kids to read, right? And so I try to make the book into a story as opposed to just making it totally animated. And so what I do with my illustrator will take the illustrations after we get them together, and he will kind of just drop them into his software, and then we'll just take the book and then kind of make it into like the animation as opposed to just making it a straight cartoon. So we incorporate that because we understand that it's good to hear, but it's also good to see visually. And so when you put them all together, you get a wonderful concoction of greatness. And so we try to make sure that the illustrations match the words and that the words can paint the pictures without the illustrations being there. So that's the challenge.
Great. Well, again, L. Kobe DeWiz, we appreciate you gracing us with your presence. We thank you for joining us on this Community Day 2022. Thank you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you. So now we will move into This is Arts, Black Arts.
Talking bottom jeans, boots with the fur.
Aaron Douglas, 1898 to 1979, was the Harlem Renaissance artist whose work best exemplified the philosophy. He painted murals for public buildings. He produced illustrations and cover designs for many black publications, including The Crisis and Opportunity. In 1940, he moved to Nashville, Tennessee. There he founded the art department at Fisk University, where he taught for 29 years. What makes an Aaron Douglas painting an Aaron Douglas painting? How can you recognize his artwork? First, we're going to look at the content of his artwork. what sort of images he uses, what's in the picture, what stories is he telling. Next, we're going to look at the style of his artwork, how he created a picture, what art techniques did he use, how can you learn to use those art techniques in your artwork. First, we're going to talk about the content. Read carefully and make sure to take notes. As you look at his art, think to yourself, what message was he trying to send through his pictures? Now let's talk about style. How did he do what he did, and how can you use these techniques in your art?
That was wonderful. Now we're moving into the arts, Black art. Good afternoon. Will you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your program?
Hello, I'm Maisie G. Lewis, and I'm a member of the Target 4 Committee, the Arts. Our Target 4 program during this administration has been with an emphasis on music from the Harlem Renaissance, the arts during that period, but we also want to be sure that we don't forget about the other art styles. But that was our main focus during this 4-year period. Harlem Renaissance and the Black arts movement. And two of the main things that our committee presented were the poetry slam and the Harlem Renaissance bingo. And you're going to hear some more about Harlem and other musical styles today. Are you ready for me to go on?
We are ready.
All right. Well, here we are, Target 4 the Arts. And our charge was to first answer, well, what is art? And we want you to stay tuned about knowing how to enjoy the rich culture of more than one or two art styles. Now, when we talk about art, most time people think about paintings and portraits, but art itself is to give us specific activities to produce sensitivity and feeling. So this is what the arts can do for you. Now, there are many art styles. There's music, there's painting, there's photography, there's drama, there's dancing, there's movies, on and on. And these are things that you come in contact with really every day and in many, many forms. So we're going to have a pictorial progression as I talk today, and we're going to move right along with my helper here. And we have art styles, okay? All right. Now, this is a photograph. How many of you like to take pictures? Oh, it's so easy now to take pictures with your phone, but think about what it was like. And this is actually a photograph from during the period we call the Harlem Renaissance. Yes, there were color pictures during that time. Okay, moving right along. This is what we call abstract art. It's a painting, and it's up to us to study. We know our art styles. You just saw a video with paintings by Aaron Douglas, one of the names that we have from the period called the Harlem Renaissance. Now, the Harlem Renaissance was the development of a neighborhood in New York City, a Black cultural mecca, it was called, in the early 20th century. And it lasted from around 1910 up till the mid-30s. It's a golden age in African-American culture, not just for art, drama, and music, as we say, but it was a period where the cultural life and the economic condition of Blacks was very, very good. This is abstract art. One of the things I hope you saw in the video about Aaron Douglas was it was telling you how to pick out an Aaron Douglas painting. And it showed you some of the things he had, the dark background in the forefront, and then further in the back, it got lighter and lighter. I hope you were paying attention to those little hints. If you notice, you never really saw a face, a person's face to identify. That was Mr. Douglas's style. So as you research different authors, look for the word search and then that good old thing called Google. We're so fortunate now to be able to look things up much easier and get examples. With each particular artist, whether it's a musician, a painter, a poet, or just a writer of fiction, make sure you find out what their main focus is and follow their style. And then you can identify. I'll bet the next time you see an Aaron Douglas picture, you're going to know that the painter was Aaron Douglas. Okay. Next. Here we have Hands on the Piano. Notice the colors. And this is another painting from during the Harlem Renaissance. All right. Here's a lady and her singers. Okay. Another picture from the Harlem Renaissance. Do we see pictures like this today? When you see one, always look for little clues that tell you the period of the picture. Okay. Here we have a group of people at a performance. Can you tell who the performer is? Oh, sure you can, because he's really facing us. Notice that you don't see eyes. You don't see little things there. This is a style that was very popular during the Renaissance period. Now, here's a picture that we all know. What am I doing? I'm fanning. Most of us have held a fan in our hand at church that had this picture on, the procession, and they are going to a funeral, a very popular picture. All right. Wow. Did you know all these art styles existed? As I said, poetry, music, painting, sculpture, photographer, film, radio, and we don't want to forget about the good old television shows. We have so many art styles that are just with us every day through the magic of television. So as you see things, think about the age that they are. Are these old paintings, new paintings? Did someone capture another artist's style and do further development with it? Wow. Here we have sculpture. Yes, sculpture is an art form. Notice the people, but look beyond the people and you should see a musical instrument. Do you see it? Yes, it's a harp. This is also a piece of sculpture from the Renaissance period. Here's another sculpture. We can easily see the woman here, and she has on two things that are very much our Alpha Kappa Alpha style: her pearl earrings and her pearl necklace. Here we have someone who's very familiar. This is a beautiful photograph. Do you recognize this poet? This is Langston Hughes, a younger picture. Yes, a color picture. He is one of the ones that we always talk about during Black History Month. And during Black History Month, each year, try to expand your group of poets, authors, painters, but not just enjoy. And we are so happy for those of us who remember when there was Black History Week, better known as Negro History Week, and then it expanded to Black History Month. And now we say we celebrate all year long, celebrating the arts. Now we move to drama, to plays, stories, and television. Most of us have seen A Raisin in the Sun on television. As well, perhaps you saw it in the movies. And this is the first one. There's Sidney Poitier. And it does come on television very often. So if you haven't seen it in a while, go back and enjoy this original version. Now, Here's the more modern version with our dear Sarah. There she is. Finish your shot. All right. Raisin in the Sun. And this is what we would call the newer version. Oh, I'm sure in a few years there'll be another one. So this is one of the classics that started back in the Harlem Renaissance period. And now we have the remakes, the updates. A Raisin in the Sun. This is drama. This is theater. It has music involved in it. And it's also with television. Yes, television helps us stay in tune with the arts. And it doesn't cost us that much either. Just pay that cable bill. Now, sometimes we think of the arts and we start, notice I was flicking, we get our noses in the air and we think of opera. We've seen pictures of big galleries and big theaters, big opera houses. And we think of folk all dressed up. But we're so thankful to have the Township Auditorium here in Columbia, historically a wonderful place. There were many, many operas performed, and still we have things at the Township as it's been renovated. And also now we have the Kohler Center. But we think of opera, it doesn't always have to be with everyone dressed all to the nines. But opera, as we know, is when the story is told through drama and music instead of speaking. Also, Hamilton. Yes, musicals. Some folk call them just musicals, but they're still operas in a sense because they're singing the parts. And this is the cast of Hamilton. If you haven't seen it yet, or if you've seen it in parts, be sure to enjoy it. The world of TV. Some of us wait until it comes on TV. Hint, hint. This is one of the current ones and very popular among the younger generation. That's Hamilton, okay? Now, when we think of music, there are different styles. We know about rap, hip hop, rock and roll. Oh, we talk about juke joint music. Yes, juke joint music with a beat. The Byrds. Some of you have not heard of them. If I were to say to everything, there is a season, a time to live, a time to die, your mind might immediately go to Ecclesiastes. Yes, that's from the Bible. But this group, the Byrds, B-Y-R-D-S, took the song to everything there is a season. They took it from the scripture and made it. You may have heard it on the radio. And I heard it yesterday when I was doing my final preparation, and I decided I wanted to share. And this is to remind you to broaden your horizon. It's okay to have a favorite kind of music and to have favorite artists. But remember, if you listen to different styles, you'll find that there's something for everybody. Many of us remember when we could just sing along with all the songs on the radio because we could understand the words. But then along came some other music, and particularly the rap style, where we had to pay close attention. But as you just saw with The Wiz, with his book presentation, the music comes in and helps you learn, listen and learn. And so you open yourself to different styles that are available. All right. Now, how many of you ever saw this man? This is a very young picture of Porter Wagoner. He was a very popular country western singer who had a show that came on Saturday afternoon. And most of us looked at it simply because there was nothing else we could catch. From his show, his female singer, who was a guest on his show, he was the star. But she became far more popular when she broke away. And she is none other than, do you know her? Dolly Parton. Now, there are those of you who say, oh, I would never listen to Dolly Parton. But if you you listen to her words, if you listen to the words of country western music, just the same way that you listen to gospel, to spiritual, to classicals, there's a message in it. And that's the overlying theme of the music, the art styles from the period of the Harlem Renaissance. They represent a time in history for all of us. There's nothing new under the sun. It's a cycle that goes over and over again. So the art styles are there for us to enjoy. Couldn't close without our dear Sarah, and I had to find her in a green dress. Our own Sarah Alicia Keys. Okay, if you've listened to Alicia, you can sing along with her. And we are proud that she is one of our sorors. What is her style? Does it sound like just straight rock and roll all the time? Or is it blues? Is it modern classic? Think about it. The styles blend together. And another favorite of mine is John Legend. Now, you may not always like all the words that he says, but there's a message in the music and the style. Not original, as we say, there's nothing new under the sun. So, as we close out this portion with the arts, know that photography, dancing, drama, painting, and music, these are all the arts. The Harlem Renaissance period ended sadly with a race riot in 1935, which there were hundreds injured and property damage in the millions. And the riot was called a death knell for the period. It shut it down. But we have so many memories, so many artifacts, the music, the poetry, the history, all things that have been preserved, and they are archived for us to enjoy. The Harlem Renaissance was a golden age for African-American artists, writers, musicians, dancers, all. And it gave these artists pride in and control over how the Black experience was represented in American culture. And always remember that the Harlem Renaissance set the stage for the civil rights movement. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. And are there any questions?
Maisie, we thank you so very much. Like you said, we can celebrate arts, Black art, music all year long. You know, you talked about identification, style, and there's a message in the music. We appreciate you today. And yes, if there are any questions, please ensure that you're putting those in the chat.
All right.
And we thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
So now we're going to move into what's next after you graduate from an HBCU. Welcome. Will you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your program and your presentation?
Good afternoon, Bridget. Thank you so much for having me. Our committee is known as the Historical Black College. It's HBCU for Life, a call to action. I am chair. First of all, let me introduce myself to everyone. I'm Sonia McIntosh, and my co-chair is Dr. Carolyn Jenkins. And on our committee, we have 27 beautiful members of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and there are graduates of HBCUs.
Awesome.
One thing I was honored to accept this position, or we were honored to accept this position, is because of what Alpha Kappa Alpha stands for. And that is that it was chartered on January 15th, 1908, on the campus of Howard University by 16 beautiful young ladies. And Howard University is known as a historical Black college institution. So this committee is very important to a lot of us.
Yes, yes, yes. HBCUs are important to us and are the backbone of African Americans getting a college education, and supporting it through our organization is important to us and a priority. So we welcome you. And if you're going to tell us a little bit about the activity today, or are we going to go right into it?
Yes, well, one thing I just wanted to kind of give you a brief synopsis of what our national guidelines are for. They wanted to bring awareness to everybody in the community or nationwide about the importance of attending and graduating from an HBCU. They encourage members to give financially to our HBCUs. And one thing that they can do is that encourage the chapter members or other committee fellows that you can start endowments. And we are so thankful to say that we have established and capitalized the Adelson Nelson Endowment Cluster 7. And I also currently serve as Cluster EAF Ambassador. So this was under my leadership. So at our BULE National Convention coming up in July, we'll be receiving an award on that.
That's great news. And although I went to a predominantly white institution, the University of South Carolina, my parents graduated from Claflin and South Carolina State University. So it's important that we give back to those historically Black colleges and universities. And we're excited today about your program, about learning more about what's next after you graduate from a HBCU. What's next?
Well, this is a lot, but one thing I wanted to go back and just iterate that Adelson Nelson was our 5th South Atlantic Regional Director.
Yes.
And she is a graduate of Allen University.
Right.
So it was a great honor to have that in her memory. So, we had the opportunity to speak with her before she passed. So we're just excited to let her know that her legacy lives on.
Yes, and throughout today, we have seen the African dance, we have done service, we've had stories of learning styles through music and then the arts. And now we're talking about our HBCUs and how important it is for us to support them and be able to go there. So if you have our audience, if any of your teenagers are there and they're thinking about going to school, let them see the segment, because this can carry you forward. And also, once you graduate from an HBCU, what's next? Sonia, thank you so much.
So whatever HBCU I was going to, I wanted to study abroad. Thirdly, I wanted to grow. I wanted to challenge myself. And I think when you choose an HBCU, you have to find an HBCU or a school that's going to challenge you mentally, emotionally, physically. Because sometimes you never know what you're capable of until you get pushed into that position, right? So for me, all these different activities and leadership roles, I was definitely pushed by my peers, pushed by my mentors, pushed by the students, pushed by the administration, just to see what I was capable of doing. So again, while choosing that, make sure you look for a school that has your wants. Sometimes you have your wants and you have your needs. For me, I had those needs. Benedict had those needs for me, which was also financially. So you want to find scholarship opportunities, right? So at Benedict, and I'm gonna speak more so on Benedict because that's my alma mater, right? So Benedict is a lot of different scholarship opportunities. So at Benedict, you can receive a scholarship just by having a 2.5 to a 4.0 GPA, right? And that's starting from a $2,000 scholarship all the way up to a full academic scholarship, right? Not many schools do that, but Benedict does that, right? So definitely find scholarship opportunities. And also we have athletic, band, choir. So find a school where you can receive the most money. And here, my mom made it clear to me and my siblings. I also have a sister that attends Benedict. She was not going to pay for college. That was very clear. My mom, excuse me, my mom is also an HBCU graduate. She attended Jackson State University in the 90s, graduate of 92. So she made it very clear. She was not paying for college. She said it's too much free money out here to pay for college. So that was clear to me in high school. So I needed to find an institution or HBCU that was going to make sure that I was good for those 4 years. And Benedict did that. I received a presidential scholarship. So definitely make sure you find a school that can make sure that you're good financially, growth, major, as well as if you consider doing study abroad or any extracurricular activities. For others, that might be sports, that might be bands, that might be clubs, and I'm talking about more so social clubs, academic clubs, as well as social, academic, and community service organizations. So while I said all of that, I want to point out 3 important reasons of why you should choose an HBCU. Can we go to slide 6? Thank you. So my first reason, as I will think of 3 broad reasons of why you should go to HBCU. 1, meaningful opportunities. There are so many meaningful opportunities. Internships, study abroad, conferences, clubs and organizations, like I mentioned, leadership opportunities, and career and training resources. Majority, if not majority, all HBCUs have these opportunities. Internships. I recommend doing an internship at least every summer or at least once a year, once an academic year. Internships will give you the opportunity to experience, to make sure this is the field that you want to go in. You can either, say, hey, I like this, I don't like this, but it's not you risking your whole entire life trying to figure out what you want to do. Internships is pretty much the opportunity as a student to figure out, just make sure this is what you want to do. Study abroad. I went to Israel in December of 2019, right before COVID. And it was amazing. Never in a million years would I would have thought I would have went to Israel. I more so want to go to Spain. I want to go to France, but I had a free opportunity to go to Israel. And that was one of the best experience, probably one of the best experience one of my best experience, because it also taught me a lot. I did grow. So I don't think the way I used to think before I went to Israel. And I was 19 at the time. So definitely a different mindset, a different thinking process, especially when you go over there overseas and you see how they live, the culture, religion, and just your whole mindset changes, right? So definitely study abroad opportunities, and also students, parents. There's also a lot of different free opportunities for your students to study abroad. Conferences. I think I went to my first conference my sophomore year, and it was a case study competition. And ever since then, I've always did conferences, conference after conference after conference, because those conferences gave me resources that I needed to succeed. So that means connecting with these different Fortune 400 companies, learning about what they want in an employer, seeing the different expectations that you need to have to apply for these jobs, staying in contact. And you also, for instance, I know we're all on social media, but you have to learn LinkedIn. That's their way of connecting with these different employers. As far as staying in contact and constantly staying in contact with them, honestly. So conferences definitely was a great opportunity. A lot of different HBCUs have those different conferences yearly. Sometimes those conferences are being brought to the institution for the students to go meet, shake hands, introduce themselves, and set themselves up for success. Clubs and organizations. I don't know how much I have to elaborate on clubs and organizations, but for me, that was the opportunity for me to grow as a student, grow as a leader. And I'm gonna incorporate leadership within that, because while you're also in these different clubs and organizations, there are leadership roles that are going to build you, leadership roles that are going to challenge you as a person, even to a point of how you're going to attempt attempt to solve a problem or a solution. I don't think now we're thinking about problem solving, but I think problem solving and finding a solution to situations is a big deal now. So, and I'm saying this because the clubs and organizations will do that for you. So just to give you the opportunity to grow, to learn yourself, also to interact with people, to understand what teamwork is, to understand what a sense of responsibility, what it is to have a sense of responsibility. And clubs and organizations did that for me. You have people that are constantly dependent on you. They want you to come through to see what you're capable of doing. Also, too, is an opportunities for you to learn and make mistakes. I did that a lot. You know, some people will, and it's not for you to, it's not to like, to what I'm trying to say. It's just an opportunity for you to learn. This is a learning process. Your 4 years at HBCU is a learning process. And you're gonna meet so many different people that are willing to help you. I certainly did, that are willing to help you. They see where your weaknesses are and they try to help strengthen those weaknesses. Even their strengths can help your weaknesses. You know what I mean? So definitely join clubs and organizations. And at Benedict, we have over 52 active clubs and organizations. So like I tell people all the time, there's something for everyone. You just have to figure out what your niche is or what you want to do and stick to it. Lastly, career and training resources. If I'm not mistaken, I think just about every HBCU have a career center. For me, my career center was very helpful. And I think a lot of Benedict College students could attest that Benedict College would literally send you email after email after email as far as different opportunities. That's exactly how I got my Target internship, my internship with the U.S. Senate, just by looking at my emails and reading and seeing, hey, do you have an opportunity for me in law? Do you have an opportunity here in Columbia, South Carolina, where I can intern for the fall of 2021? And that's how, and I'm pretty much, if you ask, you shall receive. And that's exactly what my career center did for me, and very resourceful. So I definitely say, once you step on your HBCU campus, ask, where is the career center at? So they can point you to the right people to help you succeed and make sure that you're on the right track to pursue your career. My next point is family and unity. Some people travel from far away just to come to their HBCU. For me, I only travel 3.5 hours. That's not far, from Atlanta to Columbia. But you have people that are from Jamaica, the Bahamas, you know? At Benedict, our international program is humongous. So you definitely find family on your HBCU, and I'm pretty sure that's on all HBCUs. You're gonna find family. Also, Black excellence is at its finest at an HBCU. I love to be around like-minded people that are going to challenge you, people that are going to push you. And I know that's exactly what my HBCU did, definitely with my line sister, definitely with my peers. For me, the student body pushed me to make sure, you know, hey, Ma, you're slacking. Come on, let me give you a hand. What can I do to help you? And sometimes you're like, what do I need help with? Sometimes, you know, some people don't like to be helped, but people want to help you. And definitely, I've received that at my HBCU. Your HBCU becomes your second home, your home away from home. I've met so many people at Benedict or while being at school that, you know, took me under their wing. They cared for me. Hey, do you need anything? Let me take you out to eat. You know, those type of things. Let me make you a home cooked meal. Sometimes you miss those because you're not at home. Definitely, you're meeting different people from different backgrounds. That was something I kind of struggled with because, you know, when you're coming from, you know, your household, you do things the way, you know, you learn to do things. And that's same for other people. They learn things differently. So it's definitely an adjustment. Definitely, it was different for me because I learned to do things differently than most. And also making meaningful connections. You definitely hear people say, I met my husband at my HBCU. I love hearing HBCU love stories. Even down to the point of I met this friend in college and she was in my wedding. So I've heard a lot of different meaningful stories, and I believe that is something that a lot of us would definitely experience or have experienced at an HBCU. And those people are are probably going to be your friends for life. I think I definitely have met my people that are going to be in my wedding, my bridesmaids, and those are my line sisters, majority of them. So I definitely mean when I say you're gonna make a meaningful connection at an HBCU, and majority of the time, your HBCU is going to be your home away from home. My last point, affordability. So we getting down to the money, the one that might just be the turning point for you to making your decision of why you should choose an HBCU. The cost of attending all HBCUs, and I say all 103 of them, was lowered 26% in the last 4 or 5 years for all 4-year nonprofit colleges, right? HBCUs are pretty much make sure they are affordable for us students. For instance, Benedict College is only $23,000 a year. I cannot count your dollars, but I believe that is not bad as some schools that are $53,000 or $48,000 a year. So when I say this, I mean affordability is very important for me. That was the turning point of one of the reasons why I chose Benedict College, as far as because I had a scholarship, as well as all the other all of my other reasons, including growth, challenge, my major, studying abroad, and being out of state. But that was a turning point for me. Scholarship is super important because, like I said before, my mom made it very clear she was not paying for my post-secondary education. And I don't blame her because it's so much money out here. Definitely it was money at Benedict. Hence why I graduated from Benedict debt-free. So definitely look at when you're researching your schools, look at the scholarships, look at the tuition, look at how much it costs a year. Look at what, email those counselors, email those admissions counselors and ask, how much is tuition, or are there any scholarships for golf or soccer or being in the band? So they can reduce your tuition so you can pay little to no money, right? And also on this slide, it's not as big as I want it to be, but it definitely explains to you the different scholarships at Benedict. And then the question is, what's next after graduation, right? For me, currently, I just started a position at Target at their distribution center as a summer operation manager intern. I just started on Monday in Lugoff, South Carolina. So that's one of my one of my summer internships. And then my second internship is with the U.S. Senate Special Committee on Aging, and that's in DC, and I'll start that in July. But my main goal is to be an attorney. So I'll be starting law school at the University of South Carolina, free of charge. Remember I told you, my mom said, no, she's not paying for college. And I guess she means she's not paying for graduate school. So I'll be starting law school at the University of South Carolina. And my goals are to be a criminal defense attorney, a prosecutor, judge, and hopefully I'll be running for the mayor of Atlanta in 2052, if I'm not mistaken. So those are my post-graduation aspirations, but I would definitely tell anyone that is graduating, have a plan. Make sure your plan is for you, be strategic. Make sure your plan is just for you. Don't worry about what others are doing. Sometimes you could get caught in the mix because you hear she's going to medical school, she's going to law school, she's got this going on. You can't be in the you just have to worry about you and stay on your path. Sometimes your path might not be straight. It can have a little curve in it. Mine definitely had a couple curves. So, and it was definitely, I definitely had to figure out exactly what Maya wanted to do. Not what mommy wanted Maya to do, but what Maya wanted to do. And sometimes you have to make sacrifices and have faith that, this is my plan. I'm going to work my plan. And sometimes your plan might not happen as you want it to happen. Granted, I just mentioned I run for mayor in 2052, but I may or may not, I might run for mayor in 2056. But I know that's going to be a goal that I'm going to check off my list. So definitely have a plan for you. And I think that's pretty much all. I'm willing to answer any questions.
So, Sonia, how wonderful was that? To be able to matriculate your full undergraduate experience debt-free at a historically Black university, college. How wonderful is that? So Sonia, we're going to take some questions if there are any. We are monitoring the chat to see if there are any questions, or and also again, throughout today, we've asked you to, love this event. Please do so. Give us some feedback. We are really enjoying the day and bringing this information that's useful to us all in one way or the other. And Sonia, again, we thank you. Are there any questions in our chat? We have no questions. So again, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. And one thing I wanted to say, the committee back in January, we made some pamphlets because last year we simplified the HBCU week, and we recognize notable HBCU graduates. One, I want to mention the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Yes.
And we were able to, members were able to go to the Democratic Party dinner, and as she came to Columbia to speak. Also, we recognize another notable HBCU graduate was Congressman Clyburn, James Clyburn, who was a graduate of South Carolina State. And Kamala is a graduate of Howard University.
Yes.
So, and we passed out pamphlets back in January just to let the students at Alcorn Middle School to view. And so to get them in their minds that there's a possibility of attending the HBCU. The earlier, the better.
Yeah.
And because that's how my uncle did me. He said, "Oh, you're going to a college, or you're going to HBCU." So that was already made, the decision was made for me. And I'm so glad. I thank my uncle. He's in heaven now, but I thank him for telling me that you're going to an HBCU. And I have my Benedict College shirt on.
Yes, she does.
From 1985 to 1989. So that was one of the best experiences of my life.
We thank you so much for sharing your experience, as well as Maya Schofield for sharing her experience at Benedict College, historically Black universities and colleges. We're just excited. And again, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
So now we will be moving into our next segment, which is scholarship requests the right way. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So we're going to move right into this. Will you please introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about your program and then what activity you're going to bring to us today?
Good afternoon. I am Stephanie Price. I am the chairman for the committee that is tasked with assisting high school students with the college application process. We have worked diligently and closely with the high school seniors, juniors, and seniors at Eau Claire High School this year. We had about 20 students that joined us once a month to get assistance with filling out the college application, securing financial aid, as well as scholarship information. Our committee, as we navigated through the pandemic and everything else, our committee recognized that the students were a little bit hesitant about completing scholarship applications, and therefore they didn't do or submit as many as they could. So our this morning or this afternoon, our committee came up with a program to talk about some of the things high school juniors and seniors should do to in completing the college application. Naylene Richardson will present some basic tips about applying for scholarship applications. This is vital because it's so much money available to high school students, undergraduate students, and I just feel that our community is not tapping into the funds as some others. So, as you'll see in one of the slides, just in our area, millions and millions of dollars was offered in scholarship funds to high school students. So, Naylene Richardson I'm introducing Naylene Richardson, and she's going to share with you some basic tips about completing the scholarship application.
Thank you, Naylene, and thank you, Stephanie.
Good afternoon. I wanted to start off by introducing the committee, the Scholarship Committee for Gamma Nu Omega. I am the chairperson. The co-chair is Prasvania Perkins, and we have over 40 active members. Our charge is to release the scholarship application, select recipients, notify the recipients, and issue the checks. And as Stephanie just stated, there are scholarships money out there that's not being claimed. Is my presentation going to move by itself, Bridget? Okay, we just had graduation in the state. So in the Columbia area, in the area that the Gamma Nu Omega chapter scholarship covers, which is the greater Columbia metropolitan area, Richland, Lexington County, and Fairfield County, Richland 1 offered $73.8 million. Well, let me not say offered, let me say claim. Students that graduated from Richland 1 have the possibility of claiming $73.8 million in scholarships. In Richland 2, graduates can claim up to $157,957,278. This is a lot of money. Richland Lexington 5 graduates have been offered $236,583,283. And y'all, just listening to Kobe's presentation this morning about stay in your place helped me to read those big numbers. There's money out there for you. You should apply. Do not worry about how much money the scholarship is offering. There is money for you. You should apply for a scholarship if you are planning to go to school. Once you get your high school diploma in your hand, all other education has a dollar amount to it. There's no more free education once you walk across that high school graduation stage. So when somebody says there's a scholarship, you need to see what the criteria is for the scholarship. And if you halfway meet it, you need to fill out that application. I need help with my, okay. Some basic tips for completing scholarship applications are meet all the application deadlines. When an application says the deadline is March the 1st, 2023, that means that that application has to be postmarked by March the 1st, 2023. There are not extensions. When they look at the postmarks, that is anything after the postmark deadline doesn't get looked at. We see that with the AKA scholarship. You may say the deadline is the last day in February. Anything in March is not looked at. Make sure you gather your required documents. Look at the criteria. See what it says you have to have. Start submitting or getting those papers together, your transcript, recommendation letters, test scores, letters of recommendation, your essay, what have you done for the community? Start getting those things together. If not in your head, create a storyboard. Y'all know that we know what to do with the storyboard. Don't ignore the small awards. Maybe you see an award that's $5,000 and you put all of your time into the $5,000, but you missed that your church had $50 for somebody who sang on the youth choir, or the usher board had $100. Look at the small awards that are coming your way. Those small awards add up. Prepare and write a great essay. I can say that most scholarship applications are going to require you to write an essay. Some may have an essay prompt. The essay prompt may be in relation to a current event, or it may ask you to write your personal story. Take your time, write a good essay, write that essay early so you have time to read it, reread it, and get some other readers to help you. One thing that we found is if you write a good essay for one scholarship, you have the opportunity to adjust that same essay to meet the requirements for other scholarships. Ready for the next slide? You want to develop a relationship with your school's guidance department early. Maybe you're in a school that has freshman academy, and that's for 9th grade students. Begin then letting the guidance department know exactly who you are. Stay in contact with your guidance counselor once you meet the person that's going to travel with you through year 12. Make sure that person knows who you are and knows what your goals are. If you're not quite sure, talk with the guidance department, because that person can help you to figure out some things that may be appropriate for you. You want that guidance director or guidance school counselor to help you navigate the going to college process. Request your recommendation letters early. As a retired teacher, I can tell you that people would come to me in a panic on the day a recommendation letter was due and ask me, could I write it? Well, because of my heart, I'm going to drop what I'm doing to try to get that letter written. Everybody doesn't have the time to just drop and write a letter right now. So when you get that application and you see that you need a recommendation letter, please try to give your person that you're asking for a recommendation at least 2 weeks, if you have it, to give them a chance to do a quality letter. Now is the time when you're applying for a scholarship to sing your own praises, brag about yourself. Use the verbs that say that you were in command. Yes, I was on the Glee Club, but I was the lead singer. I was the one that selected the songs. I was on the cheering squad. I was the captain. I was on the football team. I was a co-captain. Those are the things that you want to say as you begin completing your scholarship applications. You need to make sure that the person that's reading the application knows that you are deserving of their money. If you if you apply for scholarships and you don't hear that you were awarded, just keep trying. Keep trying. There is money out there, money that goes unclaimed, because people say, oh, I won't get it.
and they don't try. So if you're turned down one time, just keep applying, and your turn will come. Are there any questions? Bridget, I'm gonna turn it back to you.
Yes, Neely, we thank you so much. That information is critical, especially to our community, our high school students going into college, and then as they continue into graduate school, apply. The money is there. It's free money. As Maya Schofield mentioned in the previous segment, she went to school debt and has no debt. I mean, the money is there, so we encourage our students to apply. And this information, we appreciate it. It was a wealth of information, and we're grateful that our organization provides assistance and help for students completing applications for financial assistance. And we're going to check the chat real quick. And again, if you have any questions, drop them there. And we also would like for you to love our program on your Instagram, promote it, send it out so others in the community can hear about these great opportunities and experiences and information. Are there any questions? We don't have any questions at this time. So we will move into a PowerPoint. wonderful was that scholarship recipients, we have talked already today about how important it is to exercise. We've given donations to support local organizations. We have talked about how important art is, the music, going to college, looking for free money, scholarship money, and for Gamma Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated to be able to give 52 scholarships back to the community. How excellent is that? That's just wonderful. So now we are going to move into entrepreneurship. And so I believe we have a guest coming on, and I have one before me, but before we introduce her, there's another guest that I'm supposed to speak with.
Good afternoon. My name is Vernetta Mack, and I would be your chairman for the focus for our economic legacy and financial literacy. And
Welcome,
we're
Vernetta.
excited. Huh?
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here. We're very excited to have two of our own who are going to speak to us about entrepreneurship. If some of you on the call may have joined us about a little over a month ago, where we had a green table talk that was talking about home ownership and credit. And today we have two of our own to speak with us about entrepreneurship. We have Mrs. Henrietta Gadsden, and we also have Mrs. Celicia Moses, who will be talking to us about what their business is, how they got started, where they are, and they're going to share some tips and tricks with you all. And we're so excited to have them today.
Yes, we are very excited.
So hello, everyone. I am Henrietta Gadsden, and I am I own my own I'm a real estate agent with ERA Wilder Realty. And I've been in the business for about 8 years. And I started the business because, I was working a government job. And you know, how many of you feel like a government job, like once you get that job, like you've made it, right? But I just kind of felt like there was something more. I'm a community-oriented person. I like to get out into the community. And one of the things that I love to do is provide service and not just sell, but I provide service. So I've been in real estate for 8 years. Since being in real estate, I'm licensed here, of course, in South Carolina. I'm also licensed in North Carolina. I am a real estate broker. And I also just recently obtained my instructor's license. So I teach real estate school as well. So real estate has been very rewarding for me. I probably I started out really slow as I was starting my business. And as you all know, real estate is 100% commission. So I really had to get out there and hustle. So it's not just an individual job. It's almost like when you're an entrepreneur, your family has to be involved, and your friends, and the support, not just from your family and friends, but your community. So that was kind of some of the things that you look at. And then one of the things that I want to share with people, some people say, well, when you have your own business, can't you make your own schedule? Can't you just do whatever you want to do, right? So just know that being an entrepreneur is hard work. And it takes a lot of dedication, and it also takes a lot of time.
Absolutely.
So, Celicia Moses.
Hey.
How are you?
Hello. This is Celicia Moses. They call me Celicia Superstar Moses with Mary Kay Incorporated. And I am a successful sales director with Mary Kay. And like a lot who have gone before me, I graduated from an HBCU, South Carolina State College. I do have my undergrad degree in mathematics and computer science. And I also have a graduate degree in computer science resources as well. And I shared all that with you because Sarah Henrietta has gone before you, and she said a lot of what I would have said. So I'm going to ditto some of that because I can totally relate. I've been doing Mary Kay now in this business for 20 years. Wow. This past February made 20 years, and I am full-time Mary Kay. And basically my business is direct selling. as well as recruiting, and it's 100% commission, just like Sarah Henrietta. And that does take a lot of work. And such as Sarah Henrietta, I've also had a few accomplishments of my own. I've just finished my 17th Mary Kay car. So I won my first car in 7 weeks. And I don't tell you all that to brag. I tell you that, like Sarah Henrietta said, you really have to put your head in the game, and you have to get your family involved. You have to get your community involved. And a lot of people, of course, when you go to college, they say, go to school, get a good job, get a good education, improve your education, get a better job. But what is a great job? Again, I'm not knocking jobs. Go get a job. If you're not disciplined to be an entrepreneur, but if you are disciplined to be an entrepreneur, such as Sarah Henrietta and myself, then I say go for it, because we do get to write our own paycheck, as well as we do get to make our own hours. But just like anything else, what you put in it, you get out of it. Being an entrepreneur is no different, but don't be afraid to do so. Just make sure you find some mentors, just like everything else. A lot of people who've gone before me have mentioned about mentors. Find mentors, follow people that you could read about. There are a lot of autobiographies out there and biographies out there. Research those individuals. I love doing what it is that I do. I specialize in skincare, anything with skin. And men, if you're listening, you are also in, as long as you have skin, okay? And I want to also mention, Sarah Henrietta, you may know this, there are 3 businesses that never go out of business. It doesn't matter how bad the economy is. Cosmetics is one of the 3, and real estate is also one of the 3. So we're blessed to be in the business or business owners of 2 of the 3. And the other one, believe it or not, is alcohol and cigarettes. Okay. So these are and you can have entrepreneurship and you can own a business that sells these things, but of course you don't want to be the person to partake these things overindulgent. But back to the subject at hand. I just wanted to make note that going into business, in my opinion, was one of the best decisions that I could have made for my family, because at the time that I decided, my kids were 2 and 4 years old, and my husband and I both, we were engineers, and we were going in different directions, and our family, we felt like, was being left by the wayside. So I made a decision to go into business for myself, so we as a family could work around my schedule, or I work around the family schedule. And it has awarded us the opportunity to raise our children successfully, as well as awarded us the opportunity to also be able to support our family. And I just give God thanks for the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, and I know that sometimes when people, if you're really indulged in your business, my business and is a part of my lifestyle. So when I wake up in the morning, my family knows that if we go somewhere, I'm going to look at houses. I'm going to always look at real estate. And when I walk into a room and people see me, they ask me, how's the market? How are sales? Should I sell my house? Should I buy a house? How are interest rates? So when you become an entrepreneur, the way that you show up for people, the way that if you are knowledgeable about your business, people are going to ask you questions. And so don't just stop at, for real estate, I had to go to school for 6 weeks. So if you're 18 years old, you can go to real estate school and you can obtain your real estate license. After 3 years of being in real estate, you can actually become a broker, where you can actually start your own business. You can start your own real estate company. So I've been able to obtain my broker's license so that I can become a broker in charge and start my own business. So that is some of the things that we can look at in our community at doing. Most high schoolers don't know that they can actually obtain their real estate license at 18 years old. But we always say, hey, go to a 4-year institution. But I know that there are some people who actually go to real estate school, and in real estate, you can make as much money as you want. It's a very lucrative business. So that is something that a lot of us don't know. But again, it is rewarding what you put into it, you get out of it. And don't be afraid. You know, we do it scared. There's a lot of things that I don't know. There's a lot of things that I have to learn about. Continuously, I'm reading every day. I'm talking to people every day about things that I can do to improve my business. And most importantly, set goals. Have a plan, you know, because some of us at our jobs now, we go in every day and we're busy, right? But we're busy doing nothing. So just make sure that you have a plan in your business. And if you have a plan, you will actually be successful.
Very good.
I have a question for you both.
Go ahead.
So what was the greatest challenge and how did you start up? You know, what was your greatest challenge in starting up your business?
Yeah. So I can answer that. I think that my greatest challenge at first was trying to figure out who I serve. Because when you go into real estate, you have a preconceived notion of who you're going to serve. Like you're going to serve first-time home buyers. You're going to serve doctors because you want to go with the people who have money. So the hardest thing was actually knowing who I serve, what community that I serve. And I had to understand that I can't serve everybody, but I could only serve the communities where I am. So if I'm around educators, because my husband is a principal of a school, my kids go to school, my kids play basketball and track. So those are the people that I serve. I'm around my sorority sisters, and often, you know, the Pink Ice Ball and all those functions that we go to, those are the people I serve. Military, those are the people. So I had to figure out who I serve so that I'm not creating anything extra in my life and I can enjoy being an entrepreneur.
Great. Celicia, what about you?
My greatest thing to overcome was the naysayers. People like to tell you what you can't do and what you should not do. And again, I have a master's degree in computer science resources. So you've gone to school to sell lipstick. That's what people would tell me all the time, to sell lipstick. But this business is so much more about lipstick. And again, like Sarah Henrietta, you have to figure out who are you going to serve. And for me, that's anybody with skin. But I don't just sell the product. I'm a director with the business. I also teach other people how to do what it is that I do, because again, there are other people out there, as it has been said already. Everybody is not going to go to a four-year college. And also you only need to be 18 years old to join this fabulous business as well. And with that being said, I needed to learn how to teach other people how to have a mindset. I mean, as hard or as funny as that may sound, they need a mindset, because if you're going to get in this business and you want to be successful, you have to learn how to block out the naysayers. That's very important. You have to know your why. Also, learning and knowing and sticking to my why has also been a great, and I won't say challenge, but something I have to keep before me. I have to know my why. Why have I decided to be an entrepreneur with this fabulous skincare company? Again, this is not something that a lot of people would say, people of my skin color, you know, they would say it's not extremely successful in this business, but I find that to not be true as well, because the number one national sales director in this business looks just like me. And again, I enrich, motivate, and empower other people. That's what this business is. I truly do believe that the better you look, the better you feel. And also believe that the less broke you are, the better you feel. And I have the ability to teach and work with individuals in both of those capacities, because I just got through with a bride earlier this morning. She just rededicated herself to her marriage for 50 years, and I had the opportunity to be a part of that. And that made me feel good, because I had an opportunity to be a part of that. And then I also have a stay-at-home mom who had recently gotten divorced, and she couldn't afford to support her and her two kids. And I had an opportunity to teach her how to do what it is that I do. And she was then all of a sudden able to support her family, just she and her two kids, because that's what makes me feel good, making a difference. So whenever you do what it is that I do, I feel like I'm changing one face one person and one family at a time. So no mom, no dad, no best friend, and even my husband, they were sometimes my naysayers. I am not just selling lipstick. I am making a difference and I am changing lives.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, that's actually great because you do in this business, especially in real estate. I know y'all see people on Facebook that say, they post, sold a house in 2 days, I just sold, work with a client from, North Carolina. But my biggest thing is I change people's lives. This is the biggest purchase that they will ever make in their lives. And I am all about educating them about the process, not just selling them a house or helping them to sell their home. I'm about educating them. If you make this move, this is what's going to happen. If you do this, this is what's going to happen. So it's about educating people about the process and not just about the process of selling or buying, but also, the process of, if you wanted to become a real estate agent, these are the things that you would need to do. Here's how I prepared. Like I told you guys, I left my job. Like I just really went, I prayed about it. And, how many of you talk about, faith? Faith the size of a mustard seed. I prayed and I just walked away from my job. My job that I was getting paid every 2 weeks, getting a paycheck. So I had to have the faith, to be able to come out and become a real estate agent and become a successful real estate agent. It does take prayer. I'm not going to say that there are some times where I'm like, okay, why did I make this decision? Am I on the right road? Is this something that I should be doing? Years ago, when I asked myself that question, as long as I kept my mindset to where I focused on abundance and not scarcity, then I was always successful. But when I worried about what was going to happen, or when I worried about the money not coming, because in real estate, you can have 2 sales a month, or you can have 0 sales a month, or you can have 5 sales a month. So you have to learn how to budget. You can't just go spend all your money on whatever. And as you all know, 100% commission, that means that they don't take taxes out of your check, right? Like you go to a regular job, right? And they take the federal and state taxes and then FICA, right? So, so in real estate, right, SAR Solicited, they don't take out the commission. Commission, they don't take out taxes. So you have to be disciplined enough to either save up your money or, quarterly pay your taxes so that you're not caught when you file your taxes. And in entrepreneurship, some people who are business owners, they don't report everything they make, right? And in real estate, when I'm dealing with people who don't report everything they make, they're like, Henrietta, I made $100,000 last year. Why is it that I can't buy a house for $400,000? Well, because you didn't report on your taxes that you made $100,000. You reported that you made $30,000. So, so it's important for you to explain to your buyers, to my buyers and sellers, about how and what they can do in the process, and not just sell them something.
Yeah, I think we may have a question in the chat.
Okay.
Yes. Are there any books on entrepreneurship that you both would recommend?
So the question is, are there any books on entrepreneurship that you all would recommend to the community?
I can't say there are books on entrepreneurships that I would say just Mary Kay, just me. I'm just going to use that for example. Usually in the line of work or line of business you're looking to go forward with, such as real estate or such as Mary Kay, there are books along those lines, that I would recommend, because there are books or people who've gone before me that I was able to study the process of becoming a successful director within Mary Kay. So of course, there are people such as Wayne Dyer who might have gone before us, or some of the other successful writers, even, I don't know, TD Jakes, not necessarily because he's a minister, but he's also a successful business person as well. You know, just find someone, in my opinion, that you could be attracted to that would keep your attention. It's almost like a movie. You know, you can watch a movie and everybody else say that it's a good movie to watch, and you watch it and you fall asleep on it over and over again. But you could study entrepreneurs or successful entrepreneurs, again, in my opinion, that you feel you would want to follow their lead as to how and or what they've done and accomplished in their lives. And again, of course, along the track that you're interested in. So if it's real estate that you're interested in, or car salesman that you're interested in, or Mary Kay skincare you're interested in, find some books on those topics as to how you could learn that business, because every business, in my opinion, they have different track records. You know, I wouldn't read a real estate book to learn how to be a successful Mary Kay sales director. That's just a waste of my time. Okay.
Yeah. I can recommend, I've read and I read my books over and over again. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yep.
If you want to get that book, I read that. For real estate, Ninja Selling. That is a book that I read. I have by my bed. Boundaries is also a book that I've read, and I can't tell you all who these books are by, but these are just like my top 3 go-to books that I actually have that I read over and over. And then podcasts. If you look up podcasts, go to your podcast app and look for real estate and just the things that you're interested in real estate. There's all kinds of podcasts out there that I actually, in the morning when I wake up, I pray, and then I start feeding my brain. I start feeding my brain with something that's positive, and then I start feeding my brain with something that's educational, so that I can be prepared for the day when someone comes to ask me a question. So those are just the top 4 things that I actually do on a daily basis, if not weekly.
Awesome. Yeah, so there are some great takeaways from this segment. Like you said, you all stepped out on faith, but you had a plan, and you continue to refine your plan as you continued, and you're still continuously learning. And at the end game, you're trying to do something to give back and help your community. And that is so important.
That's right. Yeah. And I mean, on those lines, that's also one of the things that I'm really big on. I'm really big on giving back to the community. And of course, I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So I do invest my money in anything that our organization locally or nationally have. I also, if there are any sponsors out there or persons that are looking for sponsors, I invest my money in my kids' schools. You know, I put the money, you know, as a sponsor at their schools. You know, I support their education as well as the whole school. You know, as well as supporting any community events or community things that I can be a part of. Because my dream when I left my job, my everyday, 9 to 5, was to be able to be community oriented, because that is what warms my heart.
Yeah. And I could piggyback off of that. And thank you, Sarah Henrietta, for the times that you've invested in things that I've asked you to as well. And ditto, I am also Alpha Kappa Alpha as well, and do my best to participate in those things. And I am presently doing, just so you know, the men are not left out, in that same space, I am presently doing, as we speak, what we call an Adopt a Dad program. This is the month that father-in-law my father-in-law lives with me, I'm sorry. But anyway, this is the month that Father's Day was recognized. And you guys know that it's often said that Mother's Day get much more attention than Father's Day. So I've partnered up with some of the local assisted living facilities for the dad. And I've been working and partnering with my personal customers and clientele, and they've been giving donations for the dads to get gifts for the Father's Day season. And I've been able to, so far, to give 102 dads a gift. And they're Mary Kay products, items that's geared towards men, and the fathers just lit up just to receive the gifts. And all of these gifts were donated. I made no money off of them. It was totally commission profit free for myself as well as my customers that partnered up with me. They gave from their heart. So again, there are great opportunities, and this business is so non-territorial. I also recommend that if you're looking to get into a business, you need to get into a lucrative business and a business that you can touch a wide range of people, because with Mary Kay, it is non-territorial. I can work with anybody across the globe, literally, as long as they have internet or a telephone. We don't have to be in the same city, don't have to be in the same state. And like Sarah Henrietta said, she's licensed in a couple of states as well. And I'm sure if she desires, she can be licensed in a number of other states. So again, that makes her business non-territorial. So my point is, just make yourself as lucrative, or make your business as lucrative, as well as make yourself as marketable as possible, and make sure that you are basically tangible. People could reach you. You know, people could feel you, people could hear from you, people could relate to you. Also, in my opinion, you should be relatable. You know, people should be able to relate to you. And again, I would like to say thank you to my fabulous, wonderful sorority sisters, because as Sarah Henrietta mentioned as well, you guys are a great community. And I think that we all work very well together to support each other. And I thank you.
Yeah, so to reach me, I am at.
Yeah, we have one more question. One more question.
I know you both talked about blocking out people who were doubting you, but how do you go about reassuring yourself that you can succeed?
I'll start with that one. So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
When you are the one doubting yourself.
So we're talking about those
Self-doubt.
naysayers again. So what do you do to,
She said self-doubt.
and when you doubt yourself, how do you reassure yourself?
But I think Sarah Henrietta mentioned earlier too, something she does when she get up in the morning. I also have a process that I do, and it's a 60-minute process. You would need to find something for yourself, but you do have to do some self-talk, and also find enrichment books that will encourage you, podcasts that will encourage you, because it's not always about educating yourself about the business. You have to basically self-motivate, and surround yourself with other people, like-minded people such as yourself. Get away from those people. And it's hard to get away from yourself naturally, but again, what are you listening to? What are you pouring into your head? That's very important. And it's not always about just the Bible. Of course, not knocking the Bible, but there are people out there that brings the Bible to life for you, to help you to get out of your head, enrich, motivate, and empower yourself first, because it's hard for you to be able to do that. But I do wake up in the morning, I journal every day. I literally journal every day. I think journaling is extremely important too, because you can be able to go back and look how you were thinking or what you were thinking on that day to build yourself up. So most importantly, just keep your headspace protected. I can't say that hard enough, because it's already hard enough for you to go out to make a living, and you're not going to clock in for anybody, because those who are going to work, they typically clock in, get instructions what to do on a day-to-day basis, clock out, go home and get a paycheck at the end of the day. That's not the story of an entrepreneur. You have to find your funds, way to make money, as well as you have to protect your headspace.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. One of the things that, you have to learn as an entrepreneur is that you have to protect your peace. You have to protect your peace. You have to get to a point where if others don't motivate you, you motivate yourself. Even if you have to listen to motivational music, I have a song that I listen to. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. So when I'm feeling down, I'm listening to some positive music, and then just what you think about expands. So if I'm thinking about things that are negative, then that's what's going to be around me. That's what's going to come towards me. And so I try not to think about things that, now, do I have bad days? Yes, but I embrace the bad days, and then figure out, while I'm in the moment of that bad moment or that bad day, why is it happening? When COVID happened, we all had to come to an abrupt stop. We all had to, it was something that we never thought would happen. We were in spaces with people that, we might not have always been in with every day, right? So we as entrepreneurs, that was tough for us too, because as a real estate agent, I'm out every day. I'm out all the time. So, I'm having to now turn my house into a school, right? And then turn my house also into my office. So with that being said, then I have to train the people around me when they wake up in the morning, where my routine is I get up, I pray, they want to get up and talk to me. So then I have to put my hand up and say, all right, listen, you can come and talk to me at 7:30 once I am done with my prayer and once I am done with my motivation. So you have to learn how to protect your peace by keeping the people out that may not be for protecting your peace. So yeah, just kind of motivating yourself and keeping and staying positive with, what your goals are. And the other thing, and the last thing I'm going to say about that is live your dream and not someone else's. Because you look on Facebook and social media and you see people doing all sorts of things that may be in the business that you're in, and then you try to switch to what they're doing. But don't do that. Live your dream, stay on your track, no matter what you see going on out there, and then you will feel better about yourself. So absolutely.
I totally agree with all that. And I want to add this too, and hear my heart and not hear my mouth. Your family and your friends sometimes are the last people that's going to support you, and they're going to be the first ones to doubt you. So you really, really, really have to get out and connect with other individuals. You definitely need to get out and market yourself as well. And don't take that lightly again. And I'm pretty sure Sarah, Henrietta could relate. You have to put yourself out there. And sometimes that can be a scary thing, as well as it can be a disappointing thing for your family and friends to not support you. But if you're living your dream and you're staying on your pathway and you're being connected with God, those that are doubting you, one day they will be the ones that will be patting you on your back and congratulating you. And you never know who's looking up to you. You are making a difference for somebody. Somebody needs to see you win, no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what. Somebody needs to see that you're winning, because
So with
that
that
will
said-
make the difference. Go ahead.
Yeah, so with that said, I know that many of our audience would probably want to connect with you all about entrepreneurship. So could you share, I know Henrietta started to share her information, but could you share your information? And Celicia, if you could put it in the chat or say it as well, but if you can put it in the chat, that would be very helpful.
Yeah. So I actually, just to add addition to the motivation piece, I actually have a personal brand called Born to Prosper. Because I believe that each one of us is born to prosper, but we just have to find what we should be prospering in. So I do have a Born to Prosper Facebook page. You can also find me on Instagram at Henrietta Gatson Realtor. I'm on Twitter at Henny Realtor, and I'm also on Facebook. I have a Facebook business page as Realtor Henrietta. And of course, my phone number is 803-466-5857. And I'm at henriettagatson.com. So if you're looking to find me, you can also Google me. Just Google my name, Henrietta Gatson, and you'll find real estate information about me. So,
okay. And Celicia?
That Google part, that's kind of scary.
Google
that
me.
Google.
Google me.
Google me. So you can Google me as well. But my brand, I can be found on Instagram as well as I can be found on on Facebook at Celicia Superstar Moses. Pretty much that's what I am found. And I also have a Facebook page under Mary Kay Celicia Superstar Moses. And my website, I have a personal website, which is www.marykay.com/ there it is, S-Moses2. And it's all right there for you. If you got the ability to take a screenshot, do so. There it is. And again, Facebook, Instagram, and website. And my phone number is there before you, 803-414-6896, 803-414-6896, just in case some of you guys are calling in.
And here goes Henrietta's information as well. You can screenshot it. Well, you know what? I so appreciate you both. You've given us great information from your personal stories and your background that I'm sure will be beneficial to many in our community. And we thank you for the discussions, and it's a good tie-in because we have talked about our heritage, we've talked about college education, and you just gave opportunities for people that may not go on that track to get a college degree. You gave them another opportunity to explore as well.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you all today,
yeah.
and we thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.
We actually thank all of our speakers, all of our guests. And I just got some news. Can I get that? Can you hold that up one more time? We just got some news that we have winners for the African Heritage Wear. The African Heritage Wear. So as soon as I get those names, I will announce those winners. And again, to you both, I really appreciate it. It was good.
Thank you for having
Good
me. I
sitting here
appreciate
and talking with you too.
Sorry,
In this
Bernetta,
hybrid
thank you.
environment.
I think it's Bernetta still. Bernetta, thank you so
yes,
much. We
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
you for-
Bernetta.
Appreciate you for having me.
So I'm just waiting on those names so we can announce the winners.
And I thank you too, Sarah, for facilitating this.
Great. She's trying. Okay, so today's African Heritage Wear Challenge winners are, drum roll. Third place winner, hope I pronounced this correctly, Jaquila Burgess. Third place winner, Jaquila Burgess. Woo! And our second place winner, Sonia McIntosh. Woo! Second place winner. And our first place winner, Sarah Pinckney Holland. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, we thank you to the judges as well. And I'm going to apologize. But we're going to have to stop here. Unfortunately, we are out of time. I will leave you with a few African quotes. Unity is strength. Division is weakness. Many hands make light work. And I know most of you know this one. If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. As we close our Gamma Nu Omega Community Day, please complete the survey via the link in the chat or comments. Thank you for taking the time to join us for Community Day 2022. Have a great day. Thank you.